Introduction. Many of the greatest minds of any generation have spent all the time they have left after their achievements desperately pursuing the keys to success. Having achieved such great things, they now sought to share the secret of their successes with the world. After reviewing and refuting many theories in this regard, many have given up without ever truly finding an answer. Others have been left to believe that the secret to success lies with the cards we are dealt or the opportunities we are given. Still, others are of the view that genetics will determine how successful one becomes. But the truth is that none of us were born to be ordinary, and people of similar upbringings often do enjoy the same level of success. Which happy parents look down at their newborn child and imagines them being just average or just doing enough to get by? None in their right minds, of course. We all imagine the great things our children will do, say, and accomplish from before they are conceived. And when those children are born, we do all that we can to give them the best possible start to what we hope will be a successful life. Some of these children will be born to parents with great wealth, while others will have to struggle with extremely limited financial resources. But no one knows for sure which of them will become successful. So, what really is the key to success? Motivation. Motivation is the one thing that distinguishes the great minds of our world from people who simply aim to get by. How many times have you heard about successful individuals crazily going without food, rest, or relaxation because they are just too focused on their aspirations to stop for the mundane activities of life? Or how many times have you heard about people who were fed up with their lot in life and then worked tirelessly to become successful? These kinds of individuals are the type that change the world with new inventions, ingenious business ideas, or earth-shattering theories. These are the individuals we describe as successful industry leaders, world-renowned scientists, tech gurus, business masterminds, and the list goes on. How can you be successful? You too need to be that intrinsically motivated as well. Motivation is a very delicate achievement. It requires optimizing our environment, minds, and bodies in order to achieve the best possible outcomes. This book will help you unlock your true potential by showing you the keys to becoming so motivated that reaching your goals will seem like the only logical result of your actions. Chapter 1 defines success on your own terms. Your true success in life begins only when you make the commitment to become excellent at what you do. Brian Tracy. Success comes from knowing that you did your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. John Wooden. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. Steve Jobs. Success, like happiness, is an individual pursuit. For years, we have been taught that success is all about making a lot of money. That is also what we have inadvertently taught our children, and in turn, they too will pass on this folly to their children. You might never have heard your parents speak about success, but isn't it true that they often encouraged you to become a lawyer or doctor, long before you were old enough to know what you are good at? Why do you think this is the case? The prominence associated with these jobs may only be part of the reasons we subtly push our children in that direction. But for the most part, it is the money that they find attractive. Even if their children are accomplished within their respective areas of expertise but are struggling financially, they find it hard to regard this as success. The result of this kind of narrow-minded thinking is a society of people who are unhappy, depressed, or underachieving because they are stuck in a career they hate, or miserable because they can never live up to the unrealistic expectations set for and are being forcefully imposed upon them. Just think about all the wealthy celebrities you know that have committed suicide or are fighting hard to recover from a drug addiction. While being stable or even well off financially is often the result of much diligence and hard work, it is not the only true measure of success. There is no real satisfaction from being rich if you do not truly enjoy what you do. If you are struggling to make ends meet, however, it is only natural to want a better life for yourself and your children. I would never encourage you to stop pushing yourself to earn enough to care for the needs of your family. But when your happiness and even the affection you have for your children is hinged solely on wealth or material possessions, I have to draw the line. That being said, what really makes a person successful? Here is what some of the greatest minds of this century have to say on the matter. Success is a personal standard, reaching for the highest that is in us, becoming all that we can be. Zig Ziglar. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. Stephen Hawking. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Napoleon Hill. As you can see, each one has their own opinions about the boundaries within which we define success. That is because success means totally different things to different people. In fact, even those with great wealth may not see themselves as successful. There is, however, one common theme in these sayings. Success is no accident. Success achieved is a result of working hard at whatever you do. It is impossible to become successful by just doing enough to get by. Anyone can be average. If your aim is to be successful, you must have such a burning desire to be first, to do more or even to do better, that it pains you stop working towards these goals. Your aspirations should greet you every morning and daintily waltz about in your dreams every night. And no matter what obstacle presents itself, you will always keep telling yourself that you can't stop and you won't stop. That kind of burning desire is what I call motivation. Motivation is the force that compels us to strive for success, helps us to unlock the full potential of our minds, and keeps us continually focused on and committed to attaining our goals. Motivation is thus the universal key to success. It is impossible to have this kind of drive if you do not truly love what you do and if you are not confident enough to think you are able to do it well. That is why it is so crucial for you to define success on your own terms. Which achievement do you think is worth pursuing? Which accomplishment do you yearn to share with your children and grandchildren? That is the aspiration that will make you a success, and you should never stop trying to make these dreams a reality. Realism is a very important aspect of being motivated to succeed. The next chapter is designed to help you stay motivated by teaching you to set realistic goals. Chapter 2 Motivation Key Number 1 Setting Realistic Goals. A goal by definition is the end result of achieving your objectives. Some people hope to achieve success by becoming the first to walk on and explore planets, others aspire to fly aircraft that have not yet been invented, and still, others hope to become billionaires overnight. Without the requisite years of training or skills, these goals may not be possible and thus lack the realism I encourage. When we hinge our success and by extension our happiness on achieving goals that may always be out of our reach for whatever reason, what kind of enjoyment will we find in life when we fail to achieve them? Bear in mind, however, that there is a huge difference between setting realistic goals and limiting yourself. That is why my encouragement to you is to set goals that are SMART and thus realistic. The acronym SMART means that our goals will be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. When we employ this kind of framework to analyze our goals, we are less likely to end up disappointed, and it will be easier for us to stay motivated to work towards this goal. If your aim is to simply invent something great, sometime in the course of your life, that goal would neither be specific, measurable, achievable, or time-bound. Working towards a goal that indeterminate will lead you in circles and be very discouraging. If your goals are to be considered realistic, they must meet up to the requirements of all the other aspects of your SMART analysis. So even if you hope to achieve great things by the time you are 23 but have not really set a specific means to achieve this goal, you will not be very motivated to get much done. SMART objectives ensure that you direct your efforts in the right direction and do not waste time trying to reinvent the wheel or striking the air. Working towards something that is impossible for whatever reason will leave us too discouraged to achieve much else. But this is a very touchy topic for me because men like the great Steve Jobs, Ronald Wayne, and Steve Wozniak did indeed achieve what was thought impossible by their contemporaries when they invented Apple Inc. So where does one draw the line between realistic and ludicrous? Ask yourself these questions. Do I have the skills needed to achieve this goal? If not, how long will it take me to learn this skill? Do I have the requisite time and energy to achieve this goal? How much of my financial resources will I need to accomplish this goal? Is accomplishing this goal going to have a positive impact on those around me? Do I have the discipline required to achieve this goal? Am I willing to suffer the consequences of trying to achieve this goal? Are my family and friends going to support my decision to pursue this goal? Will I truly think of myself as successful if I achieve this goal? What will I do if I do not succeed on the first try? Answering these questions will help you determine whether you have the drive to accomplish the goals you have in mind. These questions are not to discourage you but to help you prepare yourself to become successful. The chapters that follow are designed to help you keep on track and stay motivated. Chapter 3 Motivation Key Number 2 Occasionally check your progress. The very definition of a goal implies that it must not only be specific and realistic, but also measurable. When it is difficult to measure the progress you have made in achieving a specific goal, it is highly unlikely that you will be very motivated to keep pushing yourself to meet that goal. Just think about it. If your goal is to get to work on time tomorrow, you will constantly check the time at each stage in the journey. If you notice that you are running behind time, you will automatically start driving or walking faster because you know exactly how much time is needed to meet your goal of being on time. If that goal was a little less defined, for instance, if you decided that, someday, you wanted to be famous, how would we know when to start speeding up? Motivation, that intrinsic desire to attain your goal, is what will ensure that you will do anything to achieve your goal. This could require that you speed up, slow down, or even change course altogether. But motivation is a very fragile occurrence. You constantly need to fan the flames of desire in order to keep yourself motivated. That is why it is so important for you to avoid the urge to check your progress too often. Checking your progress only occasionally is one of the best ways to develop a realistic view of your progress. After all, Rome was not built in a day. This is especially so for long-term goals. To help you get the point, let us revisit the illustration of your goal of getting to work on time tomorrow. If you were driving down a busy freeway and nervously checked the time every 60 seconds, would that help you get to work any faster? I highly doubt it. There will always be factors or obstacles outside of your control like the weather or traffic. Constantly checking the time will not remove these obstacles. At that rate, you may never reach your destination because you are too distracted by the time and may very well end up in an accident. While it is good to evaluate your progress in order to determine whether your current approach is leading you to a successful outcome, doing so too often will be both distracting and disappointing. If you have any children, you will know exactly how soon is too soon and how often is too often. Children are not very good at delayed gratification. If you tell them you will play with them soon, you can expect them to return every few minutes to ask when that will be. If they learn that milk will help them to grow big and strong, they will soon begin to gulp down as much as they can and check their height as often as possible. Often, they end up very disappointed because progress ends up being much slower than they expected. The same can happen to you. Checking your progress too often is one of the easiest ways to demotivate yourself. You will begin to imagine your progress to be much slower than it actually is or may condemn yourself as not really making any progress at all. This is especially so because you will make more progress on some days than others. How often is too often is a question that only you can answer. The nature of your goals and the duration of the time needed to achieve them will help you make this decision. If your aim is to lose 5 pounds in 30 days, it is only natural that you would want to weigh yourself daily. But if your goal was to lose 100 pounds over the next 2 years, monthly weigh-ins would be more beneficial. It is generally encouraged that you check your progress a little less frequently for longer-term goals than you would for those you hope to achieve in a shorter period of time. This does not mean you should not revisit your strategy to achieving your goals often. In fact, I strongly encourage you to review your strategy as often as possible. This is another practical way to keep yourself motivated because you will constantly be thinking about achieving your goals and it will become harder to be distracted by all the noise around you. Our associates are often one of the biggest distractions. Your associates can either weight you down or push you forward and closer towards your dreams. The next chapter focuses on how to surround yourself with the right people who will help to motivate you towards success. Chapter 4 Motivation Key Number 3 Surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with the right people and realize your own worth. Lucy Hale. Who you spend time with is who you become. Change your life by consciously choosing to surround yourself with people with higher standards. Tony Robbins. Surround yourself with people who see the greatness within you. Unknown. Parents often spend an exorbitant amount of time warning their children about bad associates. I was no exception. To this day, I can remember how my parents lectured me about the friends I kept, forbid me to visit the homes of certain individuals, and carefully monitored my whereabouts. Being the rebel I was, I often thought this is overly restrictive and a huge inconvenience. Now, having grown up to see the life that some of these individuals now lead, I am truly grateful for their insight and guidance. But, we are all adults here and are free to do as we please. You might even reason that you are your own person and make your own decisions. But I strongly encourage you to consider your associates wisely for the following reasons. Your associates influence the way you think. Your associates influence the way you are viewed. How your associates influence the way you think. Everyone, and I mean everyone you regularly associate with, will have some influence on your life. This is true whether you are conscious of it or not. As humans, we are constantly trying to make sense of this topsy-turvy world by carefully examining the people around us. In fact, some scientists have been bold enough to put forward the theory that we are basically the average of the 5 people we most regularly associate with. The question now is, who do you want to be? If you choose to associate with people who are content with doing just the basics of life to get by, this notion can easily seep into your mind and affect how intensely you work towards your goals. These people will make you question why you push yourself so hard and whether your goals are even achievable. I am sure you will not find this kind of thought motivating at all. On the other, what about surrounding yourself with people who are constantly pushing themselves to do better? Think about it this way: if you wanted to grow flowers in your garden, would you fill your garden with poison, stop watering it, and hide it away from sunlight? That would not produce the kind of results you are looking for. So why would you surround yourself with people who want to poison your mind, so to speak? These may be well-meaning people who genuinely care about you, but they do not understand the fire that burns within you. They have never been as determined to succeed as you are and will never, ever understand what motivates you to keep going. As a result, they hurl pessimistic remarks at your dreams and slowly change the way you feel about achieving your goals. In order to keep yourself motivated, you have to be confident that your goals are achievable, and associates like these will slowly sow doubts in your mind. Even if these individuals do not orally challenge your dreams, the way they live their life will do little to keep you motivated. Their way of life can either positively or negatively reinforce your desire to reach your goal. Constantly seeing them underachieve or procrastinate will dampen the flames that motivate you to keep going. On the other hand, when your close friends are always trying to find new ways to be bigger and better, you too will begin to feel the desire to improve your current performance as well. When your close associates achieve their goals, your own goals will become that much more real to you. And the closer your goals are to your heart, the more motivated you will be to achieve them. How your associates influence the way you are viewed. The world of business that exists today is one that is very closely connected. Your achievements are very closely tied to the achievements of your partners. It is virtually impossible for your business to survive in a vacuum. Your reputation is thus one of your biggest assets. Unfortunately, our reputation is not just a product of our own actions, but also the actions of our associates. If we chose to associate with people who are dishonest or low performers, we too might be viewed in a similar manner. It is only natural to assume that birds of a feather will flock together. Your reputation is your brand, and this is what will attract the investors and customers you will need to make your goals a reality. The wrong associates can permanently damage your good reputation. Associating with the wrong people may very well mean that a great opportunity could easily pass you by. Believe me when I say, there is a lot of truth in the saying that it is very lonely at the top. Achieving your goals of being the first or the best in your field will be a lot more enjoyable when you are surrounded by people who are happy to see you succeed. Associates that refuse to push themselves to do better will easily become jealous of your success and do all they can to demotivate you. To make matters worse, it is usually the people that are dear to our hearts that often succeed as setting us up to fail. That is why I strongly encourage you to be cautious with the people you let share your dreams. Choose the kind of friends that will constantly push you to do better and stay motivated. Associate